Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here, the Wanderlust CEO. I have my friend and client, Sam from the Happiest Things Collective, Travel, Treats, and Trends. Sam, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Well, I'm super excited because you just graduated Cruise on Vacation, so we have all the confetti happening. And we're here to share your success story today. So first of all, I'm so excited about this one because normally we're just talking travel, but your brand is like travel times three. So I think this is going to be a really cool case study, especially if people are like, I love to do a lot of things, which has been your journey and figuring out how to kind of tie them in. But tell everybody, if you would, where you were before taking Cruise on Vacation and where you are now.
Okay, so I definitely did not have any travel agency, selling of travel, anything like that experience. I was a baker, a homeschool mom, and I just really, really love Disney World, and the feelings that you get there.
Yeah.
And I always had it in the back of my mind, like, I love talking to people about this and how to go about doing it for you, not just generically,
Yeah.
because that doesn't work for really anybody.
Yeah.
But when the first time that my husband went with us, it was very chaotic. He had never been there before and he was not really down. But then the second time we went, I really planned and paid attention to things that he would love, that I would love, that our son would love. And it was total transformation. He was
You
like,
turned him into a Disney dad.
I did. It was amazing. Like, he was like, this is amazing. This is relaxing. This is fun.
Yeah.
And it was so joyous for me. I was like, I want to do this for everybody. Like, just let me do it for everybody.
I love it.
And then what was really funny is that I watched your YouTube channel for a year.
Oh my
Like,
God.
Cyndi was a household name in the Groover house for a year before I'd actually met you. It's just so funny, like the whole thing. And, I'd be like, well, you know what I heard from Cyndi today? And my husband would be like, who is Cyndi? We don't know a Cyndi. And I'm like, oh, well, I do. I know a Cyndi.
We were YouTube best friends before I even knew it.
Yeah, definitely BFFs. So, and then from that, I was like, oh my gosh, I could do this. Like, I can do it. So let's do it. Like, why not?
Oh my gosh. I love that. What do you feel like has been your biggest win or celebration since taking the program?
Well, definitely selling my first trip was amazing. I was scared to death. And I was on the phone with my client and we were just chatting and I was like, and after the first hi, this is Sam. And then it was like, okay, I can do this. And it was so natural and organic because I was so prepared.
Yeah.
And the girl was like, oh my gosh, you are so educated. Like, you're so experienced with this. And I'm like,
you're my first client.
Literally, you're my first client.
I love it.
Didn't tell her that, but I was just like, thank you. I just love talking about this. Like, this is my jam. That was definitely my biggest win.
Well, that's amazing. And do you feel like the program helped you have that confidence going into that first client call, which, by the way, kudos for selling before you even graduated. That's why we call it a learning while you're earning program.
Oh yeah, it was week 3.
Oh my gosh, week 3. Oh, you get extra confetti for that. So by week 3, you're already making sales and
yes,
and I like it.
Although I hadn't gotten on to the sales modules yet, I got onto the group and I was like, oh my gosh, I have my first consultation. Someone help me. And then, they did. And I was so supported and I knew the right questions to ask. And, I was prepared. even though I was only on week 3. So
No, and that's, I think, the beauty of our program, that you actually get real humans that help you, because we're not going to turn down any sales. What do you need?
right.
Let's figure out how to make this sale, because we know that changes your energy too. Like the minute you're like, all right, I made a sale in week 3, I can, if I made one, I can make 100, right? So it's like
Exactly.
kind of just that whole process. So, one of the other things that's really a cornerstone of our program is mindset. How do you feel like the mindset work has helped you either in your life or business?
Has literally impacted every corner of my life. Like, I'm always throwing out affirmations to my husband. He also owns his own business. So
Okay.
we're just like a puddle of, freak out sometimes.
Yes.
I'm like, no, we're going to bless and release this. We're going to bless and release this. And I'm like, I am an open source of creativity. Like,
That's my favorite one. Yes, I love that.
I say that to myself like 100 times per day. I'm like, no, I'm an open source of creativity.
I love that.
And, I decided to kind of change everything in my life at one point, like fitness goals, food goals, business goals, family goals. And I was able to use that mindset shift in everything. Like food, I would be like, is this food serving me? No.
So good. So good, Sam. I
It's
love
so
it.
great to it's certainly an amazing tool to have.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of your cookies. Is it hard to not eat your own cookies? We have to pause and let everyone know about the cookies. You guys, when Sam graduated, and I have to say, because I made an Instagram post about this, go check it out on Instagram. Sam is tagged there. She makes the most amazing cookies. But I said in the Instagram post, I said, I have received crazy awards, like, oh, you sold $1 million, you got the Vanguard Award for education, you like all of these big awards that I should be like super proud of, and I am proud of. But the day a client, you, Sam, made a cookie of my face, I feel like is my shining achievement. I don't know what it was, but like the fact that someone would make a cookie of my face, just the love and the thought that went into that, I'm going to tear up. I'm going to just do some confetti so people can't see me cry. But the point of it is like, I told Sam, I said, I can't eat this. She sent it to me. I'm drying the cookie out. I'm going to like hit it with some like, what do they call that? Clear spray. And it will be living in the office on my award shelf with all of my awards, like in a shining place. Cause I really feel like you haven't made it until someone makes a cookie of your face that's like thanking you. So I want to thank you for that. The biggest award of my life, I feel like, was that cookie. And it's phenomenal. You guys go look at it on Instagram. Maybe we'll put a picture. We'll ask Trish to edit a picture up in here so everybody can see, because it's so good.
Well, it's such you're like such an inspiration to everybody, but like especially me. Like, you stepped out and you created something that wasn't a thing, like, because that's what you were meant to do.
Yeah.
And it gives me and others confidence to step out and do those things that were like, I don't know if I can do this. What is this? Like, where do I fit in here? And then I'm like, I have to just carve out my own space here because I don't fit here.
So, and Sam, tell everybody, because Sam does travel. She has her travel agency now. But because she's such a creative person, like she has the baking background, she just loves Disney like crazy. I saw you making a costume the other day. I was like, what is this? She just does everything. So tell everybody about like how you tied the different branches of your company together into like under this one umbrella and kind of weaved it together.
Well, on my last branding call, this beautiful ribbon just came together and tied it all up like on the last second there, because I feel so passionate about these things. And I'm like, I'm not serving myself if I'm neglecting 2 and only doing 1. And honey, I'm not gonna be able to try again. This is it. This is my life.
Yeah.
So if I need to carve my own way, I will. And so I was on the call with Kelly, and I honestly don't exactly remember, but I was like, oh, wait a second. we could do all of this in one thing. Like all I needed was a little alliteration, a little travel treats and trends. And it was like, oh, that makes complete sense to me now. Okay.
Yep.
I got my travel, obviously. I got my treats, which are super fun cookies. And then I've got my trends, which is Disney bounding, really fun, shoes and, just super fun things that I love. And basically, if it makes me or someone else smile and this like give you this like euphoric, like this is such a great moment, like that's what I want to give to people. And for me, it can be wrapped up in those three things.
Yeah, and you get to like live your dream of being a creator. Like you're that type of person that has to, you're like my son, he's an artist. He just has to create every day. If he doesn't paint or color or draw or do a YouTube stop motion, he has to be creating all the time. And I love that about you because it's just like you can have multiple things and kind of tie them in together, and you can strategically approach that as a business and still get something you love to do every day. And that's like the magic, right? Because when you figure out how to create a business where people pay you to do what you love, it's the old Mark Twain quote that goes something like, if you can figure out how to do that, right? Like you're not going to work a day in your life. You're just going to wake up and like do the stuff you love every day. And you're right. Like I love to train people and teach people how to like have this life and travel. You love to like talk about everything Disney and create these cool trends, and you have the cookies, which are amazing, and now you're really doing these well thought out curated Disney trips for people. And I just think like that's the magic sauce like that so many people miss when they're trying to like build a life that they love. It's about starting in that place with what you're passionate about. So the fact you've been able to curtail it now in just 12 weeks into this beautiful business with a little bow doing all of the things you love, I think is just amazing. So kudos to you for doing the travel business and beyond, we'll say for sure. But what would you tell that person, Sam, who maybe was like you a year ago, because you watched me for a year on YouTube, and you're like, I think maybe I could have a travel business. Maybe I could tie this in. Maybe this could be tied with something else I want to do. And they're just sitting on the fence. Like they know they need us to, or they want to kind of get started, but they're just not sure about taking that big leap into like working with us. What would you say to that person who's on the fence?
Well, first I would say what you say is to take the masterclass, which I did twice.
Yep. The free masterclass.
I did one.
Yep.
I did it last year, and then literally like right before I pulled the trigger, I took it again. I was like, is this what let's do this one more time. And I was like, all right, that's it. Do that. But like, if you want to know how to sell travel and to like how to find the people that want to travel your travel, if that makes sense, then you need to do it. Like there's nowhere else that's going to help you do that.
I love it. Yeah. And we do, I think the biggest thing that we do is it's not just learning how to be a travel agent, but it's exactly what you just said. How do I find the clients that are going to buy the stuff that I want to sell? Maybe by week 3, right? But depending on, I always say, if you're going to be successful in this industry, because primarily you're at home, you're in a silo, you're by yourself. So who do you ask if you have a question? First job is, yes, you have to learn how to be a great travel agent and feel confident and be skilled and get on that call and sell that trip. But the second piece is, how do you run an online business and drive leads so you have clients that you can sell and then make money, right? So it's those two pieces together. I love that. So,
and even beyond that, Cyndi, it's the learning how, like, because you're like, oh yeah, sure, I could run a Facebook ad, but like having someone look at it, like Evie looked at my ad and she's like, hey, you should probably switch this up. And I'm like, no, this, and she's like, no. And regionally, like I'm in Tennessee, she's in California. So she saw my audience differently. And I was like, oh, that makes total sense.
Yeah. And you're right. It's the troubleshooting, because there's lots of programs that'll be like, yeah, you can be a travel agent in 5 minutes, but then you're released out into the world and you're like, what the heck? How do I even start with this thing? Because nobody teaches you the business part and calibrating. It's learning how to do it on the job almost, right? Like, okay, I did this part now. Can you look at it? Can you check it? Okay, I did this next part now. Can you look at it? Can you check it? And not just anyone checking it, not just going to feeds and going, oh, what do you guys think about this? People that you don't know, but people who are already successful. They're doing the things that you want to do, right? And having that skilled eye, I think, take a look at it. We have one question in our company that we have posted everywhere. It's, will it get our clients better results? And if the answer is yes, then we do more of it. If it's no, then it gets tabled to the long list of projects that we might work on someday. But that is why we have mentorship in our program, and we have private coaches, and we have calls where you can show up. People are always, I still get people surprised. They're like, I actually get on a call with Cyndi and ask Cyndi questions. Yes, every Tuesday is my call, and I'm on
I was very
for
surprised.
3 hours. Yeah, because we work with the weeks 1 through 6, and then we work with the weeks 7 through 12. To make sure everyone's getting their time and can ask whatever questions they want. But you're right. It's that personal approach that will always, that's something that's dying in my field. Like, everybody wants to sell these e-programs and this e-stuff, but that stuff just collects dust on your hard drive and you never really take action, versus having a coach going, did you do this? Like, right. Because we have that midpoint call and the end call and the kickoff call. But okay, we're getting all into program deep details, but what would you say, would you recommend Careers on Vacation to others, and why?
Yes, for sure. Obviously, because of the cool people, number one. I mean, obviously.
I have a cookie of my face, just in case you guys didn't know.
But Cyndi, Evie, Brandon, like, they literally will change your life. Like, that's what I would say. Because they're awesome at what they do, and they truly love what they do, and they care about you, and that's super awesome. And there's nowhere else to get this kind of education. It's so in depth, it's so engaging, and personal. We might be crying on calls and laughing on calls, and we're sharing our hearts with each other. And that's so rare.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's what you graduate, because you go to our graduate group, and then those are your friends. You have a community. You're not just by yourself. You're part of the cool kids club now, Sam. You already were cool, but we're just adding you to the bigger cool kids of all the grads that have ever gone through COV, which is awesome. So if you guys are hearing a little bit of yourself in Sam's story, I want to encourage you to go over to the Careers on Vacation page. Or visit us at careersonvacation.com/ready now. This is where you can check out our 12-week mastermind and really learn a little bit more about the program. It is an ASTA affiliated travel school as well. And as Sam mentioned, you get to work with our amazing team. There they are, the same folks that work with our clients, and all of the hundreds of travel agents and agency owners that we're working with on a regular basis. And we have 104, Sam, you're like 142 or 143 case studies now. That blows my mind. That's so crazy. So we're so excited. And of course, we're so proud of you. Thank you for sharing your story with our audience today. And I want you to let you know, I'm your cheerleader for life. And we will see you over in the grad group, my friends. Thanks for sharing your story today.
Thank you.
She's calling me. Like the rainbow. Like the rainbow. She's calling me. Like the rainbow.
Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here. If you like that last video, make sure you check out all of the other content on our channel. And if you want to follow along and travel with me around the world and see how I run my amazing travel brands and get some great tips on how to grow your own, make sure you check out that other content. I'm going to drop a couple videos here. Click those links. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.
She's calling